just before we start, I just want to say one thing, that no one is born with confidence. It's not something that, you just like super confident all of from the start, but it's something that you can learn and you can grow and you can become confident through taking action and through courage. So it's possible for everyone. And I hope that we're going to really inspire the people watching and listening to this to really build up their confidence so that they can make their dreams and their goals and their careers come true. So to start off, I would like to ask you to maybe just to introduce yourself to my audience, who you are, what you do.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much, Kristy. Thank you for having me in this live. So excited. And completely agree with everything about confidence. And I feel like this is also why I'm so strong on confidence and so much into this topic because I'm career coach and confidence coach. And previously I worked in recruiter, but I also work in many different fields like as marketing, public relations, external affairs, and all of those in some international companies, but also in some smaller agencies. So very diverse experience and kind of background for me. And then it actually gave me this massive life lesson that you can always, as you exactly said, build this confidence. You can always change directions, change paths, go for what you really want. And I experienced it just so many times in my life that at some point I was like, you know what, let helps others do the same. And that's how I started working with supporting with a career, but also with a massive focus on confidence, building this self-belief, building this empowerment, and just getting this power from within for the outside world.
And quickly, just to go on that, before I introduce myself, how do you feel like that confidence has shaped your own career path? Because clearly you also, gained a lot of confidence along the way. How did that help you?
Oh, it helped me a lot. I feel like there were just so many moments I, felt confident and felt really in this mode of okay, let's do those things. But I also had so many challenges through going into my development through my own path. And yeah, I just think we all in the way have this confidence within because when we are born, we are kids and kids, they don't really have any boundaries with oh, I should stop believing in myself. But then society more consciously or less just put people a little bit down with the age until has specific norms and cultures and everything. And I just had this massive struggle in my life, also more from personal side, but obviously it had impact on my career, which became my superpower. But I also always struggled with this being very different, being very loud, very full of energy, charisma, which are my biggest strengths, literally. Now every single person is asking me how to be that confident, charismatic. But when I grew up in Poland, that it's maybe a little bit more traditional culture in this social behavior that wasn't that accepted. And maybe it's not only even only the culture, maybe it's just the fact that people are just getting intimidated by people who are that confident and they are different. And because all of those things, someone could assume okay, so you already were confident, so what's the deal? That's the thing, if everyone around you is not necessarily accepting this personality, even when it's younger age, when I was teenager, remembering even this age, not only my adult life, that's why in my adult life I've became that confident because it's always building it and always being you know what, I won't just follow the crowd. I will be me, whatever is the cost. It might be difficult, all right, but I just stay true to myself. So it helped a lot. And then thanks to staying true to it, now I can help others do the same.
You know what I would like to add to that? I think that also sometimes in life, your confidence through in something that happened in childhood or in your career and stuff, that it can really, you might have been so confident, then all of a sudden it's gone. But actually, you can build it up again. Because I actually see it also in my own life, how at also one point I really was not confident at all anymore, where I used to be very confident. And then through working on all the self-beliefs again, it really went up again. So for anyone
I'm so
watching
glad.
thinking, I lost my confidence. There's a
Oh, I'm so
ways.
sorry. And what helped you like rebuild it then again during those experiences?
For me, it was definitely working with a coach.
All right.
Yeah, because in the beginning, you know, you sometimes you need someone else to really believe in you so that you can start to believe in yourself again, and need that encouragement from someone else. And then certain
Yeah.
tools, strategies to, and of course, the main thing, of course, is just to really take action and to do. And then you see, like, oh, it wasn't as bad as I thought. And then the more you do something, the easier it gets. But I thought I'll also maybe just quickly introduce myself to your audience, who's
Of
quite
course. Sorry, Kristy. Yeah, we already like dive
incredible.
deep in
I
into
once
this
did a live
topic.
with someone,
Yeah.
and then we introduced ourselves at the end because we forgot about
Yeah.
well. So yes, I'm a career coach, and I specifically help women who've experienced a burnout in the past, and you know, they've been through therapy, they've done all the things to get over it, so they're back at work, and then they're realizing, you know, actually I've changed. I'm not the same person as I used to be, and I want something else. Like I feel there's so much more inside of me,
Mm.
more meaningful, more fulfilling. But what? And then they stay stuck because they don't know what it is.
Right.
And I really help them uncover who they are, what are they passionate about, what gives them energy, all those things, and then find a meaningful and fulfilling career. In
Yeah. I love your mission, Christy, and obviously I knew it before, but like I love the way you said it because I also had so many reflections lately that whenever we want to grow and we expect this, certain outcome in life or in career, but just like before we want it, like when we wish it, when we work on it, when we go out of this comfort zone finally, we actually face so many challenges. And I feel like this is exactly what you are talking about because it's like for your clients when they come to you and they feel this stuck, but it's actually the sign of growth because it's like if you want to be somewhere else, you have to go through this path of like, oh, it doesn't no longer serves me, or for some reason like the chaos comes to like someone's life or career and it feels like things are falling apart, and it's so easy to give up in this moment and be just like, like let's whatever, like just stay in this job because nothing is working anymore anyway, so why would I change? Or any kind of like personal growth that also comes there, because I feel like careers so like just go hands in hand with like personal growth. So I just genuinely love your mission even more every time I hear about it, because I just feel like it's extremely difficult to miss acknowledgement of like growth and this next step with just like, okay, I'm just stuck now and that's it, because I grew, so I'm no longer vibing with environment or with job or with my manager because I know I deserve more. Yeah, that's beautiful. I love it.
And I think, you know, we're here on earth to keep on growing, keep on expanding, keep on learning. It's, they say, like, just like nature is also always evolving. It's otherwise it just like shrivels up and dies, you know, and that's what happens to some people in their job, that they're stuck for so long that they also shrivel up and die. Meanwhile, they should be growing and learning and evolving. But yeah, sometimes that does take you getting out the comfort zone, you know, which eventually
Yeah.
can lead to so much fulfillment. And that actually leads to my next question. Why do you think so many people lose, maybe also see that with your clients, how they lose confidence when thinking about changing their careers? And what would you advise them to feel more secure?
That's a good question, Christy. I think it just comes with similar thing that you already touched upon before. So like when we have to take the leap and kind of we feel like we outgrown this job or like tasks or company culture, whatever it is, and we're ready for the next step. But it also comes with this fear because obviously it's like if you want to have better job with more responsibilities or bigger salary, you kind of need to prove yourself more. You need to show up yourself differently on interviews, during networking, during literally all the process, even how you position yourself with your personal branding. It can be also intimidating. It can be like, oh, but why I would position myself as an expert? It's like, because you are an expert. That's what I always tell them, right? But yeah, but at the beginning, it comes this kind of lower confidence combined with like imposter syndrome. I love how once, I think Steve Bart called it like growth moment, to reframe this a little bit negative of like imposter syndrome. So it's like, yeah, you are doing something you're not qualified for, right? And it's like, no, not at all. It's just like cost of entry of this uncomfortable feeling and questioning maybe a little bit your expertise, your experiences, but you can't gain experience without actually doing things. Like you won't be ready by waiting. It just doesn't happen ever. And it's like the same on social media, you know, sometimes we see people with like million followers, or I mean, even let's say 100K followers, it's already massive. And we are like, yeah, but they have 1K followers. So, you know, it's like different, like easier or whatever, like they are already there. And then like when you think backwards, no one start your social media platform with even 10 followers. Everyone starts with 0. You can have some name already, let's say famous. And obviously if Oprah starts new account on Instagram tomorrow, she will immediately have 1 million followers. But it doesn't mean that like her whole journey started literally the same, that she just jumped into, I know, Instagram and had 1 million like followers, or already all of those success. It was actually part of resilience and building confidence and just, yeah, moving forward, believing in herself. So that's like similar, you know, to change this narration of like imposter syndrome. And yeah, so that's the way I try to like, I mean, I think it works. So I wouldn't say like I try, it's just the way I help them to understand, first of all, where those limiting beliefs come from. And secondly, just like work really on facts and understand like why, yes, you are qualified, why you should be confident, why you should go for it, and all of that.
Yeah, I think that's really all the mindset work, you know, and that's also why I say that I loved working with a coach so much, because they really help me with the mindset. So indeed, different frameworks. I don't know if you've ever heard of Byron Katie. So really turning around, you know, creating new affirmations. And yeah, in the beginning, it is like you don't really believe it, but when you keep on saying these things, when you keep on envisioning the person who you want to become one day and start showing up as this person, if you keep on being busy with this stuff and the personal development and going on that journey, and then on the side of going on that journey, taking action, you are going to change. You're not going to stay the same as you were. You are going to become more confident, because you're going to see eventually, it's also about not giving up indeed, but eventually you're going to start seeing results, that things are going to get better in your career. And then you're like, aha, see, I should have given up. It's
100%.
good that I carried on going, you know?
Yeah, I love that you had this journey with your coach and that you kind of discovered it by yourself, and then like you can help and serve others as a coach because you already know how powerful it is. And I agree with like all the affirmations and kind of this like mindset, self-concept stage, because I feel like now that there's more and more like manifestation, visualization, meditation, like all of those kind of topics on the internet, people sometimes are hesitant, and like especially in the business world, they're like, yeah, but if I want to have a job at Amazon or Google, what has it to do with like any of those things, you know? And then when we dive deeper into learning about like how our brain actually works, and we discover no, it's just like how dollars, like neuroscience and all of that, like how the energy changes, the chemical, you know, constructions. And then it's like, oh, right. So that's why reframing those beliefs, as you said, and saying those affirmations. And I agree. At first, it might feel like, oh, it doesn't work, or like, I don't know if I believe in it. But then you just train. I know it's so like obvious example, but I just love it. I think it shows it perfectly that it's like a gym, like you go and at first you just don't see those results. So obviously it's easy to say it doesn't work, right? Because yeah, you went for a few workouts and you don't see results. Maybe you feel just even more exhausted because your body is not prepared for this kind of activity. And it would be the same, right? And then like you just become stronger and stronger than you see it with time, and with all the like mental fitness, building confidence, all of that is so close to it. I feel like all those topics are so connected, and we should be just more aware of it, more open for it.
Yeah, I like the fact that you mentioned the gym because I feel like it really has a lot to do. It's all connected. So, for example, I started doing CrossFit a couple of years ago. And in the beginning, it was also like, I just felt like I couldn't, was useless at it. And then I just became better and better and better. I'm now still way not where I want to be, but it's fun because you see yourself progressing all the time. And I'm like thinking, wow, the more I'm like getting better in CrossFit, I feel like my coaching business is doing better. I feel like I'm becoming more confident, as if it's like all sort
Mm.
of connected, like becoming that new version of yourself, who's strong,
100%.
strong, all that stuff. So, and indeed, you can't expect to see the results immediately. It takes time. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's something, it's a skill that you can build. But exactly like what you say, our brain is very outdated. So it, whatever you tell your brain, it believes it. So that's why it's so important to uh say positive things to yourself instead of I can't do this, or because then your brain's going like, okay, well, I can't do it. So let's not even try.
Definitely, definitely. And I grew up in this house that everything was about being perfect and a hustle, overworking, seeing my family going out when I was sleeping and coming back when I was going to sleep as a kid. Very big hustle. That's also why my dream was working for a big company, because whenever I came close to the or like offices, I would see like those big buildings and I was just like, wow, I want to like be this busy woman, go in my heels there. And I did it, and actually still do, even as an entrepreneur. That's what happening, right? Like I go for my public speech, like dream come true, but in such a completely different way, and way more with my feminine energy, way with more my confidence. And instead of burning out, actually, I learned that it's about like embracing like our superpower that comes from within, like our inner light, and like just like learning how to cultivate our strengths and focusing on part of the work that brings the best results. But it's completely not at all about this like, yeah, overworking and confidence building by external achievements. Yeah, I'm happy I had it all so wrong, because if I didn't experience those things in the past, I would never know how to help people right now, because I would just always had this like easy path. So now looking backwards, like I'm actually grateful, because it cost me so much of like massive work on myself and actually reframing and changing. And it was so hard, because when I was younger, I used to, even have this very toxic trait of like overworking, putting myself almost to burnout again, just to prove to my parents or make them communicate with me more or love me more. And like it went very deep level with me. That's why I'm so passionate about my work. That's why to me it's literally my mission to do like my coaching and public speeches, or share mess like Instagram and LinkedIn and like lives, as we are doing everything what's possible, just to raise awareness that your life really can be good and you can be successful. You can have tons of money. Like it goes all together. But because we used to grow up, I feel like those bit earlier generations as well had those like very sacrifice mindset and very bad on money, very bad on career. They were like, yeah, because whenever you're higher, whenever you're successful, you just want to have power, you just want to have money. What's wrong with wanting money? Like I understand the thing with power that maybe sound controversial, but money itself is not guilty at all. That's why with career, with confidence, very often also those are limiting beliefs of like, yeah, but if I get there, wouldn't it be like terrible for my mental health or stuff? Like I think worse for mental health is putting yourself into burnout, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that's really, because that really affects your confidence if you burn out,
Yeah.
because you you might think, because of course if you have a burnout you're not going to be performing as well, so then you're going to be thinking, okay, well maybe I'm not doing such a good job, but
Mm.
maybe actually you're just on the wrong career path, you're just doing something that's not lighting you up.
Yeah, that's such a good point. And coming from here, Kristy, what do you say was like your biggest mistake or kind of thing, like lesson in all of your career?
Yeah, well, I don't think I really made any mistakes, because if I didn't make those mistakes, I wouldn't be where I am today, So
Oh,
everything, happened for a reason, kind of thing. I 100% believe that. But if I would have to give advice to my clients or anyone listening to this, then 100% not listening to my intuition. I was at this job. It's not even on my LinkedIn profile. It's not even mentioned on my CV because I was there for 3 months. So it's not even worth mentioning. But it was like very stressful. And I got like shingles on the side of my stomach. It was extremely painful. But I was in my probation period, you know, so I didn't dare to tell anyone. I just wanted to perform really well. So also at the key of the office, I'd go into the office in the weekends to finish my work because it was just like, it was too stressful. Like I couldn't finish it like on time. And I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing until eventually they fired me. So that was the end of it all. But otherwise, you know, like it was just silly that I didn't just listen to the warning signals to my shingles that I had, all the pain, you know, my body was signaling like, hello, you don't be here. So in hindsight, I should have just quit before they fired me. But then again, because of that experience, I decided to go on that journey of personal development and read all those books and start working with coaches and things. Because then I knew like, okay, shit, I really have a problem. I need to find help.
Right. Oh, thank you so much for sharing, Kristy. I think it's such an important, lesson of like also how you just come into this cycle sometimes in those toxic jobs, right? And it's like so difficult to get out because you feel for some reason that it's like rewarding or it keeps you like safe. Do you feel like in the way that's also why for people it's so difficult to change those like safe jobs that are not that safe, they are just familiar?
Well, in my personal case, I was just happy that I had a job. I would just, so that
Right.
was like my security, at least, you know, we were also buying a house. So I was like, at least I have the security of a paycheck. Also very much for the outside world. I didn't want to let people know like that I'm jobless. Like that would be like a huge embarrassment for myself. Meanwhile, now it'd be like, I really don't care what other people think. But at that time I was, of course, sometimes I still worry about what people think, but nothing to the extent at that time. Then it was just really like everything for the outside world. So as long as, you know, the facade looked good and everything, I mean, on the inside I was dying, doesn't matter as long as it all looks good from the outside. And that's also what I really teach my clients now. Like, how does it feel on the inside? Like you need to make sure, and also the confidence, you know, it has to come from the inside. So not being reliant on what other people tell you, or if other people give you thumbs up or something like that. You need to build it from within, just like self-love and getting to know yourself really on a deeper level about what it is that you really want from this one precious life that we have.
Yeah, agree. Oh, beautifully said, Kristy. No, 100% agree.
And I want to ask you, because I think a lot of people are worried about switching careers. Like, what do you feel like are some of the most common myths around switching careers? And how do you think people can, just think differently to feel more confident?
Right. So there are a few that I observe, like most common, especially with my clients or before they sign up. I had it sometimes I speak with them and they are very into my services. They love everything I'm doing. It's so like rewarding to hear. And then they are like, yeah, Marta, but I can't join now because I feel like I should stay more like longer in this safe job. That was what one of my clients said, like spring last year. That's when we had this conversation. And she said it, and she stayed in this job that was completely, she was underpaid. It was unsatisfying, not great tasks, terrible management, really bad working culture, close to toxic almost. And she said that job market is just not stable. So she better stays there. And I was like, this is one of the biggest myths ever. If you stay in this toxic job, it's exactly as you said, Kristy. It's most likely that they actually gonna fire you. Like, I don't know how it works logically. Of course, I'm kind of joking, but like, it's always the case that if people force things and fight for them in the negative way, not fight in terms of like consistency, determination, resilience, but like in positive way, just putting it there. No, it's just like doing things against themselves. It never work out for some reason. If not you, universe will take it out from you. It's just how it always ends. And job market is not stable. Well, if job market is not stable, then your job neither. However harsh it sounds, I have all my empathy to all of my 9 to 5 clients and all the 9 to 5 employees in the whole world. But we just have to acknowledge it, that it's just not stable right now. So therefore, you're not losing that much if you would move to career that can be better for you. The funniest fact was, obviously, I speak it very like anonymous at the moment, just because I want to share also this particular detail. After a few months, when she already, after its conversation, she immediately signed up, by the way, because she realized it's a little bit of BS advice and she wasn't just staying true to herself. So she signed up. We started working together. And one of the sessions, she told me, actually, I heard someone is buying our company, so there might be massive redundancy of all of our places. I'm so grateful that we are already working together. And then like now I'm going for my new job. And terrifying new, but and I would hate to be like, I told you so, but in the way, you know what I mean, Kristy, this is exactly the thing when we speak about, yeah, this is just not safe, it's stable, etc., and blaming job market. I think with blaming job market, like I use it a lot as a hook in much of my like content. I always say like, oh, job market's not stable, you just take responsibility. However, this a little one, however, I always try to add somewhere in there as well that like, it's true that job market is freaking harsh. Like one thing is confidence, another thing is job market is very harsh. And I completely understand why people in this digital world economy feel so lost, because they can be lost because things are changing so rapidly with AI, with layoffs, with just economic crashes and all the many dynamics that are going on. It's not easy. However, this is also why I believe not doing our self-advertisement, but just I genuinely believe that's why if you need to build this confidence, working with the coach that's extremely important. If for you it works just to read books or listen to certain podcasts or maybe journaling, etc., that's fine as well. Like do whatever works for you. But like yeah, just like taking real ownership, not in the way of like, it's my fault, so I have to take ownership. No, it's just like, if you don't take responsibility, like you, by blaming market, might not be able to change the market. Like, that's not really how it works.
And like just because it's hard doesn't mean it's impossible. I mean, every no leads to yes. Also with my own example, not just a job market, but also in the coaching industry, like my first year was terrible. Like it was really very, very hard. And only later on I started getting clients. So if I would have given up in the first year, then I would never be where I am now. So, and I'll say this to my clients, like sometimes they get a no and a no, no, and then all of a sudden it's yes. And it's like, see, you kept on going. Yeah. So yeah, things sometimes just take work and effort. But eventually you'll get there.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. And there are so many new ways of, I think, building this career. So like obviously all the personal branding, building this kind of unique property of like from your own like intelligence and experiences, your unique like value you bring, being your authentic self, developing even the more like soft skills, communication, emotional intelligence, like all of it will pay off. We just have to know where to focus on. So maybe let's not overthink the resume all the time and open jobs on LinkedIn. Let's maybe focus on deeper strategy. And I think like even with networking, that's an interesting thing. Maybe it's a little bit of digression from the topic, but I feel like it's it's kind of connected with like the path of finding ourselves and all of that. So basically I have many clients who are not only 9 to 5, but they are also like becoming entrepreneurs. Some of them even are living 9 to 5. Like I work with this one amazing client who literally quit 9 to 5 in finance, and she's now also a career coach. Like she's
Oh,
doing
really?
very much our job. Yeah, I love it for her. And she rocks it. Like her salary obviously was way higher from her own job, so not like salaried, her just like business income. So she was like, okay, Marta, I'm just gonna quit. And I'm so in touch with her. I love it for her. And that's the thing with networking, because sometimes, people are like, maybe I want to be entrepreneur actually. Maybe I want 9 to 5. Maybe I should do both. Now I'm also working with another client who is in this like corporate world, very like big tech, great company, but also building own business. So sometimes it was confusing with priorities for him to like, should I then focus on applying and like job searching, networking, or should I like focus on building a business, meeting right people? And then I'm like, And this is the golden spot because you can network, build personal branding for both. Like, even if it's different business than a job, there will always be something together, unless you are, I don't know, working at Amazon as a sales, like development, something kind of job. And then like you want to start doing manicure. Like, I get it. That might be a clash. Like that's just like so different. But anything else, if it's related to your business at some point, like in my case, it was kind of smooth, obviously, but still like recruitment at Amazon, and then like my own business as career coach, public speaker, social media, like all of that. So I had so many contacts that were interested into both, and so many connections that helped me grow in both things. So in my corporate, they would like open to me doors even within Amazon to be like, Marta, speak at this event, Marta, do training, do coaching. Once my mentor at Amazon, my own mentor came to me and she was like, could you actually mentor me? Because I feel like I need more confidence and like public speaking skills.
That's cool.
And I was like, that's amazing, because it's just like how in connections, in networking, both sides always support each other. It's not about this superior feeling, like I mentor you, you mentor me, or I beg for advice, or networking is transactional. No, like two sides can benefit. You just don't know yet how much of like good things there will like come out. So coming back to the point, that's what I mean, like networking, personal branding will pay off whatever path you will choose. And with the job market, with the economy going more and more into like, yeah, maybe having side business is a good idea and all of that, which I'm very pro as well, then it will be like your golden ticket, because then any second you already have your connections, you already have your brand, you have all the reputation. So yeah.
I always find it interesting that people always forget to think about their own network, because also with my clients, they found new jobs through their network to people that they actually forgot about, kind of thing. Like, oh, what's he actually doing? And then, of course, you can build new connections, but you can also have a look at all your old connections, the people you already know, who already know you. What are they doing? Where are they working? What are they up to? That's actually also how I found all my corporate jobs, was also always via.
Oh wow, that's interesting. No, but that makes sense. Like good networking can bring results, and yeah. Oh, that's so great. And what was for you, Kristy, to like kind of, find your dream path and dream purpose, and eventually from your, you mentioned like corporate, like being now, obviously amazing career coach and like helping others in this way.
Well, I think, what's the question? How I found out what I wanted to do?
Yeah.
So I think, and this is the advice to also give everyone, is to really get to know yourself on a deeper level. Because to be honest, I think for all those years, I didn't know who I was. And I was living for the outside world. I was trying to please my parents, belong to my friends, and belong to society and do what everybody else was doing. So I was just hopping from one job to the next, not really knowing why I was doing certain things. It was more just for the outside picture, to climb the corporate ladder, be somewhere. And then when I hit rock bottom, pretty much got fired, I started to really go on that inner journey and really discover who I was, and also doing, the meditation and mindfulness and doing yoga and learning to listen to my intuition. I didn't even know what that was in the beginning, like, or how to do that and stuff like that. And then working with the coaches, that's how I figured out what I'm really passionate about. Funny thing is that I knew I didn't want to work, behind a desk anymore in an office job at the corporate. So I thought I actually wanted to become a beautician. So I actually went to study that whole course and everything. Then I did an internship, and then I realized, no, I'm missing to work with my head, to think with my head, like I'm missing the psychology, I'm missing like the personal development that I was also busy with on the side. So that was just actually a stepping stone. So do I regret that I did that whole study to become beautician? Like, not at all, because I learned so much from that. Also, like starting a business and all that thing, that was also part of a business plan. And I feel like sometimes you might have to go in the wrong direction to find out what it is that you actually really want to do. So also tell this to my clients, sometimes in the program, they think they want to do a certain thing. And once they've really researched that part, they're actually like, you know what, I actually don't think it is for me. And that's fine, because it's going to get you closer to what it is that you actually really want to do. And I think back to your question, as soon as I really got to know myself on a deeper level and really figure out what I'm passionate about, that's when I feel like you also get more the courage to just go for it, because you're really strong in, you know, that it's aligning with your values, you know, that it's aligned to who you, to your core, to who you really are, and therefore it's you know, your why kind of thing, and therefore you just
Yeah.
kind of, you gain that confidence because you know this is what I have to do. There's no really other option. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing, that you really know what it is that you want before you
Mm.
building that confidence in going for that job. If you're not really sure if that's really something you want to do, like for example, the beautician, then it will never be really that successful because it's not
Right.
actually what you really want to do.
No, 100%. And it's exactly as you said also at the beginning when you were like, yeah, I don't think I made any mistakes in my career because all of them led you to where you're right now. And it's, I feel like, similar applying to finding our path. That very often is like trying different things. Like I, for instance, like always knew who kind of I wanted to be, what I wanted to do, but like specific of it would change a little bit, you know? So versus like acting on stage. Now it's public speaking on the stage, or there were things of like I had, as I mentioned, like kind of diverse career and like education, like higher education. So I remember sometimes people were confused. There's like sociology, there's like HR, there's like marketing, public relations, and here I am working in literally all of them today as a coach and as a business owner. Like it all makes sense. Like sometimes it's planned, sometimes not exactly. There are also many things that came to me as nice surprise. But if you open for it, if you already follow this like light and intuition, as you mentioned, then you will like get to the right answers, I think always.
Funny, I think our paths are very similar, and also the things that you really enjoy. I also feel like all my passions have sort of come together in this one role, which is amazing.
Oh, I love it.
And I wanted to ask you, do you have any like small, simple tip that somebody can try today to feel more confident about starting career change? Any tip or trick that you have up?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I would say first there are like two main things because obviously like giving this such a quick tip, it can be like, yeah, empowering or it can seem like very small thing, but like my thing would be think about first of all of this clarity. And I know we all the time speak about clarity and that's kind of boring. Someone just wants better job and be confident and just do it. But I just think come back to clarity. See your human design. If you're into those things, just even check your numerology, your astrology. Ask ChatGPT that what does it mean to you? To me, my human design is one to one with what I'm doing. Everything, even the way I acquire like new opportunities or new clients. I didn't know it because I'm such a like fighter in my mode. So I always felt like, no, I'm this proactive approach. Like I have to be the one to like, propose everything. It comes out everything is the opposite. I'm more like reactive. And I was like, this is some BS. And I just didn't believe it. I was like, maybe I put like wrong hour when I was born or something into there. And then I started like analyzing literally all of my life and experiences and like biggest opportunities as like keynote speeches and things in business and all of that. And then I realized like, well, yeah, actually, it was reactive. Like I was putting myself out there, obviously, yes, and creating a lot and initiating many things as well. But like many things, when you start building, they are just also finding you. But it's just like a little digression again. But my point is, like, human design can really help us understand how we should work, which way we should even build business if it's not 9 to 5. Even if it's 9 to 5, maybe sales job is not for you because it will drain you because you kind of have to chase, right? Maybe there are some people with some human design who should work like 3 hours per day, some 8, and it says a lot. I always felt like I like to work a lot on one point, but I always felt I'm never designed to work like 9 hours nonstop and just like with the desk and like that just doesn't feel natural to me, actually almost to everyone. But then human design also shows us our strengths, our purposes, and then we can relate. We can see how it resonates, and maybe there were things you thought it's just a hobby or whatever, and it comes, it's your purpose actually. Like we never know. And then after building this clarity through multiple like yeah, even tools as well, and like journaling, diving deeper, I would say to start reframing all the negative beliefs. So similar as we spoke before. So that's an exercise I always give to my clients. And this is so simple, and results are just mind blowing. So they literally write down every single limiting beliefs, and then they analyze where it did it come from. Where like it's a parent who just wanted to keep you safe and just said it, whatever. Was it like this angry teacher or something at school? And then see if it's true. Because if it comes out that it doesn't make any sense for you, it's yeah, someone was just scared of you or afraid, wanted, good for you, or actually didn't. Maybe they were jealous or insecure by your potential and they told you those things. So, like, question if it's really true or not, and then reframe it. And when you reframe it, you build like your new affirmation, basically. So, let's say, I would say, as a complete example, I don't say it's most necessarily this way, but in a way of like, yeah, I'm like this too loud person, blah, 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 like, and then I feel like, who said it? Oh, yeah, actually, people who weren't confident. So they were kind of jealous of me. Yeah, being loud person, just being genuinely me. Yeah, I'm not that quiet. Even though with the age it comes, I'm a little more chilled, but still, I'm not this very like introverted person, that's for sure. And then the affirmation was like, that's my superpower. I'm just confident woman who believes in myself, who can show up as my authentic self, and who can be too much if it's too much for you. To me, it's just accurate.
Yeah, and I think it's also like who said it indeed, and that you don't just also take advice from people who are not where you want to be, I thought
Yeah.
that somebody gave me that advice also, like only start to ask advice from people who've already achieved the things that you want to achieve, who are already further than you in life.
This is the moment of truth. Yes, Kristy. This is no, I just like bravo because it's one of my favorite, and it's so easy to just trust someone. I don't know how it works exactly in like psychology in our head, but like someone says just absolutely stupid thing, and for some reason we believe them. And then
Mm.
we are like, I remember so many people when I was starting with YouTube, they were telling me if I would do YouTube, I would do it perfectly. Like you should be better doing editing and lighting and I was like, but dude, you never did even one video. And you're saying if you would, it would be perfect. Like why? Like who said it would be perfect? Why? It's never perfect when you start. That's all the beauty of it. And criticizing others for trying and doing is just the worst thing you could do. Like never put people down, put them up. Everyone can win. Like there is space for everyone in this world.
And I think people these days are a little bit done with all the perfectionism and everything perfect, because
Yeah.
no one is, and it's just not true. And all of our lives can be very chaotic and beautiful at the same time.
Yeah.
So we showed that it doesn't all have to be perfect, because it doesn't exist perfection or perfect. Good enough.
Yeah. 100%, Kristy. Oh, I love this chat. I love everything we shared and like listening to you and your experiences. I think like it can be super empowering. I mean, it is definitely for me. And I love that, being even in the same space and exchanging those experiences and both being human and just like, rocking the business world is just like, yeah, it's also this empowering thing. It's also building confidence. It's also who we surround ourselves with. And yeah, I just love it.
Yeah, very important to surround yourself with people who bring you up, uplift you, and support you. So I think we should end it on that note. Yeah, I hope that we inspired people to become more confident in life. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to one of us. Yeah, I really enjoyed doing this and sharing in our experiences today. So thank you so
Yeah.
much, Marta, for being here.
Thank
And
you,
thanks everyone
Christy.
for watching.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful day, yeah?
Thank you so much. Likewise, Christy. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.